Hello there, grade 1 students. I hope you're still doing great. Welcome back to the Tuesday edition of our science class. Today is Tuesday, April 7, 2020. Before we start, please check if you have these things with you. Your science textbook, your pencil, and of course your copybook. Do you have them? Very good. Let us continue with our lesson on what is light. Our lesson objective is, I will know what light can do. I will know what light can do. Time for review first. Let's see how much you remember from our lesson yesterday. Okay, look at the picture. What do you see? You see a fireworks display. All right? So you can see an example of a thing that makes light. Okay, so yesterday we said that light is a kind of energy, and we can observe light energy by using our eyes. Why? Because we can see light energy. We don't smell light energy nor taste light energy, right? We also learned that light comes from some things. Light comes from the sun. Light comes from other stars. Light comes from lighted candles. And light comes from lamps. Of course, there are other things where light comes from. The ones we have here are just examples. Don't forget that things make light. Examples of these things are computer screen, cell phone screen or mobile screen, television screen, and fireworks. Some animals also make light, and that is the firefly. Are you ready for a new lesson today? That's great. So today we are going to learn that light shines through. So please open your book on page 26. Look at this picture. What do you see? Right. You can see a window. What else? You can see light. Very good. So this picture shows us that light passes through a window. How about this picture? What can you see? Correct. You can see lanterns. Have you seen this kind of lanterns? So these lanterns are made of thin paper. We call this thin paper Japanese paper. These are really thin paper. We normally use this paper to make lanterns. So this picture shows us that light passes through thin paper. How about this picture? What can you see? Okay, there is a boy and a shadow of the boy. So this picture tells us that light doesn't pass through you, or light doesn't pass through a person. Why? You will understand it better as we go on with our lesson. Look at the boy, and then look at the hands. What did they form? The boy and the hands formed a shadow. Okay? So a shadow is formed when something blocks the light. How does that happen? Remember that light doesn't pass through you. When light doesn't pass through you, that means you block or you stop the light. When that happens, you form a shadow. So this means that when a light doesn't pass through an object, a shadow is formed. This is what happened when the hands blocked the light or stopped the light. Why? Because light cannot pass through the hands. Did you understand? Very good. Let me explain to you what light does with some objects. So I want you to listen carefully. So there are three kinds of objects. We have transparent, translucent, and opaque. So what does light do with these objects? Look at the transparent objects. All light passes through transparent objects. Some light passes through translucent objects. But no light passes through opaque objects. So let me explain to you in detail things about these materials as we go on with the lesson. Let's talk about transparent objects in detail. Transparent objects allow you to see clearly through them. Why? Because all light passes through these objects. So what are examples of these objects? We have a clear window, you have a clear drinking glass, we have magnifying glass, clear eyeglasses, or let's say reading glasses, and we have a timer. So all of the materials of these objects are all clear. So when the light passes, all light will pass. Now, why do you think it is important for these objects to be transparent? If your clear window is not transparent, do you think you will be able to see some objects on the other side of the window? No, you will not be able to see them clearly. How about if a magnifying glass is not transparent? Would you be able to see the things that you want to look bigger clearly? Of course not. How about a reading glass? If your reading eyeglasses is not made of a transparent object and you use it to read, do you think you would be able to see the letters clearly? No. So it is important for these objects to be transparent. So when the light passes through these objects, it leaves no shadow. Why no shadow? Because all the light will pass through it. Is it clear? Very good. How about translucent objects or translucent materials? Translucent objects only let some light pass through them. Unlike in a transparent object that all light passes through them. Okay? We cannot see clearly through a translucent object. So because of these, no shadows are formed, or looking into a translucent object or material leaves no shadow. So what are examples of these objects? We have the thin paper. In the earlier part of this lesson, you saw a picture of a lantern made of Japanese paper. Okay, the Japanese paper is an example of a translucent object. What else? We also have the tissue paper. The tissue paper is a translucent object. How about the paper that we use to wrap our food? Okay, we have the wax paper. So the wax paper is an example of a translucent object. We also have windows. So some windows are transparent and some windows are translucent. So where can we find the translucent windows? Probably you can find them in your bedroom or in your bathroom. Of course, you will not like the window in your bathroom to be transparent, right? Who wants the window in his bathroom to be transparent? Of course, no one likes it to be transparent. Okay? So, again, translucent objects only let some light through them. So we cannot clearly see through these objects. And remember that there is no shadow formed when light passes through these objects. Okay? The third kind of materials are your opaque objects or materials. Opaque objects do not let any light pass through them. Alright, so that means no light can pass through them. Because of this, a shadow is formed. Okay? So in the earlier part of this lesson, you saw a picture of a boy and the shadow, the hands with a shadow. So why is a shadow formed? Because the hands and the person are opaque. So they stop or they block the light passing through it. So we have your examples of opaque objects. Carrot, your teddy bear, the door, your shoes, and some hollow blocks. So what are examples of opaque objects that you can find in the classroom? Okay, so we have the door, of course. What else? Your desk. What else? Your chair. What else? The eraser. We have the board. All right. So there are many objects which are opaque. Your bag is an example of an opaque object. Yes or no? Yes. Your pants or your clothes are opaque objects. So why do you think that it is important for these objects to be opaque? Would you like your pants to be transparent? Of course, you wouldn't like that. Would you like your bag to be transparent? No. How about your shoes? No. How about the wall in your home? Do you want it to be transparent? No. Okay. So there are many opaque objects, and it is very important for these objects to be opaque. Okay, so once again, opaque objects do not allow light to pass through them. That is why shadows are formed. Is it clear? Very good. Now that you know the difference between transparent, translucent, and opaque objects, it's time for you to describe. Okay? So, this is the situation. Think about being outside in the sunlight. So, where are you? You are outside in the sunlight. When does a shadow form? What is the answer? A shadow forms when something blocks the light. Okay, so remember that you are outside in the sunlight, so there is a light coming from the sun. So this light coming from the sun will pass through you, but then you are opaque. So will all the light or some of the light pass through you? No, no light will pass through you. Because of that, a shadow is formed. Do you understand? Okay, very good. It's analyze time. Why do you think that you can see the flame of the candle burning inside a glass lantern? I repeat, why do you think that you can see the flame of the candle burning inside a glass lantern? What is your answer? Let's see, do we have the same answer? It's because the clear glass allows the light to pass through it. So what does it mean? The glass lantern is an example of a transparent object, right? Because it is a transparent object, the light will pass through it. Remember, it's a clear glass. Clear glass is an example of a transparent object. Okay, so when the light passes through it, you can also see clearly through it. Is it clear? Very good. Is everything clear now? That's great. That means you are ready to do your task for today. So in your first task, you just need your textbook. So look at the bottom part of page 26. This is your task. Draw a picture of you and your shadow. Draw a picture of you and your shadow. Pause the video while you are doing your task. When you're done, take a picture and send it to your teacher. All right? Now you're ready for your task 2. So you will just say or tell if the sentence is true or false. If your answer is true, you have to explain your answer. You have to tell why. If your answer is false, you also have to explain your answer or tell why. So the sentence is, a magnifying glass can form a shadow. A magnifying glass can form a shadow. True or false? Think of your answer, and when you're ready, send your answer to your teacher as a voice message. Your teacher is waiting for you now. That's it for today, our dear students. Thank you so much. Everybody did well today. See you tomorrow. Have a nice day.